Buying a house is a major decision. It's critical to know what to look for when buying a house so you enter the process with clarity and purpose. So with that in mind, today I want to share with you top factors to consider when buying a house, and we're going to get started right. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Tennessee with me, Ben Barreto, your local real estate pro and relocation expert for East Tennessee. Today we're going to discuss some things that you should consider when purchasing a home. Because listen, when you're shopping for a house, there are a lot of things to consider. However, most buyers focus on things that they're looking for in a dream home, and those things don't always include factors that impact everyday quality of life in the long term. So I want to share those factors with you today so that when you shop for a house, you're aware of these things and you know what to look for, so you purchase a house with a little more purpose. So here are the criteria, starting with number one. So the first thing you should consider is commute time. And obviously commute time sounds obvious, but I'm not just talking about commute to work. You need to consider commute time for everyday things you do: shopping, school, workouts, hobbies. It's all going to impact you. And if you aren't even a little comfortable with commute that you do once a week, after 52 trips a year, it's going to start to grind on you, and it will definitely cause you to hate the home. The next thing to consider is the neighborhood. Again, it's another thing that you think is obvious, but the way you look at the neighborhood is going to be a little different after I explain it to you. So again, you'd be surprised how many buyers focus solely on the house, and they have maybe the immediate surrounding block, the neighbors, but they have blinders to the rest of the community. So you need to consider, like, what are the politics compared to yours? What are their local clubs? What are the activities happening on a regular basis in your future neighborhood? Is there a factory nearby? Is there a noise nuisance that you're not aware of? Is there a funny smell that hits you when the wind blows a certain way at certain days of the week? When purchasing a home, make sure you circle the area starting wide and working your way inward towards the actual house. And while you're doing that, make some stops and talk to people that live and work in that neighborhood. The next thing to look at is the size and layout. And this is something that most people pay attention to, but sometimes don't tend to think it through all the way. Make sure you are considering your future plans, even future plans that you aren't 100% sure about but could happen. Do you plan to have a larger family? Do you think in-laws and friends and other people are going to come stay with you on a regular basis, maybe even become dependent on you? Do you have plenty of space for storage, hobbies, kids to play, cooking, and more? Next up is condition of the property. And when I say condition, you can't just walk through a house and look at the obvious things. You got to make sure to check the way the floors feel under your feet. Do they slope? Do they give? Is there a lot of creaking around the house? Pop your head up in attic space, into the crawl space, and look for mold. Smell it. Is there anything funny going on? Check out the deck underneath of it. Obviously, I expect you to do a general home inspection and have a professional look at those things too, but sometimes you'll discover things on your own that'll save you that $500-$600 on a home inspection, because maybe it's something that you just don't want to deal with. Next, look at the age of the home. And yes, the age of the home matters, but not always the way you think. New construction has its own set of problems, so when considering the age of a home, you must consider the different issues that you might face with a home. New construction, do your online research regarding builders and see what kind of reviews they have. What are the common threads in those reviews? Either way, some of the issues that you're going to come across, whether it's a new home or an older home, are going to be different, and in some areas they're going to be the same. But it goes back to looking at the condition of the home and making sure that you do your homework and you're aware of what you should expect over a certain amount of time. Next, you want to look at the school district, and this is another pretty obvious thing, but many young couples don't consider this, or even empty nesters don't consider school districts. And school districts aren't just about what school your kids are going to go to. School districts impact the community. The performance of a school does have an impact on the quality of life in a community. So looking into this is something that you should do. And I'm not going to say any more on that subject because I probably said too much, but yeah, look into the schools. Before getting into the last few things, I'd love for you to make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps out. And this is my business, real estate, and I am here not just to provide information for you, but to find people that are wanting to move to East Tennessee or in East Tennessee wanting to make a move somewhere. And that's how I make a living. That's how I feed my family. So I'd love for you to like, subscribe, and share this channel. All right, next thing you should look at is HOA rules. And again, not every house is created equal, and not every HOA is as well. A lot of people run when they hear the letters HOA, and you shouldn't. At least not immediately. There are different variations and levels of HOAs, and the restrictions they enforce. Some want a lot of control all the way to the point that it feels like you're living in a prison camp. Others are just there to say that they are, just as the community says they have one, and they don't enforce anything at all. Make sure to research the HOA and its involvement in a community by reviewing the covenants, asking about its reputation, and looking into the costs. Many times, the higher the cost of an HOA, the more restrictive it is. The next thing that you should check out is future development plans in the area. Now this one is a little harder to do because not everything in development or that's planned to be in development has been announced to the public. Things you can look at though is when you're driving through the neighborhood, look for bandit signs, look for billboards, construction signs of projects that are in the near future. Additionally, look at the area over the past few decades and see what it looked like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and how big it is or how much it's grown today. And that'll give you a good idea of what direction it's going in. Well, that's it for today's video. I really hope you appreciate it. The real estate season is about to go into full swing. You could possibly be purchasing a home, and I want you to be armed with good information and good tips so that you make a good decision for yourself and for your family. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, if you need anything, give me a shout. And until next week, have a good one. Bye.